being a content creator in Magic right now in 2025 is like the best possible place you can be.
MagicCon Vegas 2025 was the greatest Magic event of all time.
How negatively affected is Spider-Man going to be due to no commander decks and the fact that the arena component is not going to be Spider-Man cards?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Cash Cards Podcast. Special guest today, longtime friend / rival, game night's rival. We got Ben Bateman in the house.
What's up?
Introduce yourself to people. Not that they don't already know you, but some of these people may not. So
yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Ben Bateman. I'm a Magic content creator. I've been playing Magic since I was 7. My older brother taught me how to play. I actually got to take him to Vegas with me as my guest.
That's sick, bro.
Which was pretty cool. But yeah, man, I've been making Magic content a long time, but really like a year ago, I kind of jumped into short form, and I just live on my phone, right? It's just all day, every day. So you guys will probably see me doing all kinds of.
It's been awesome, bro.
Oh,
You've done a great job, man.
I appreciate it.
You've done a lot of growth in a year, and the content you make is really good, man. So I enjoy it. I consume it.
Thank you.
You got a fan in me over here.
No, I see your stuff, and I'm in your streams a lot, and your space here is really incredible. This is so cool to see.
Thank you, man.
And I'd seen the podcast pop up, and I was like, wow, that looks like super pro. I was like, I got to get some of that set up.
Got to do things at the highest level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. And shout out to my content team. They definitely made this really, really nice.
I see a lot of the short form videos you guys post.
Yes.
And I kind of have gotten to know a lot of your team as a fan. And I just met a lot of them, which is pretty cool.
Which is cool.
I was like,
right?
I kind of fanned out a little. I try to play it cool, but
I think it's a beautiful thing to like really, give your employees a platform to grow and for people to, have a little fan base. It's just, it's awesome. Like, you've gotten to know Ellie a little bit now. And she's doing her last stream here today, and people love her, man. She's an influencer of herself here in the Magic space, which is really cool. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Of course.
I'm excited to talk about some of this craziness going on, man. Magic is in a very healthy place, I believe. You made the bold statement that MagicCon Vegas 2025 was the greatest Magic event of all time.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, MagicCon Vegas with staff, talent, and attendees was over 22,000. Almost 20,000 uniques purchased badges.
Right.
My understanding, anyway. I don't have that real statistic, but that's kind of what I had heard around the building.
Right.
And just the sheer size of it alone, I think my recollection is when I first met you, we went to a show shortly thereafter, and it was like 2017, 2018, 2019 kind of a thing. And we were kind of still in the range of like 6,000 person Magic Grand Prix.
Right.
Those felt big. Those felt really big at the time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This is 3 times the size of it. Like 22,000. The scope of it when you walk that floor is you're in a full-on, you can't see everyone. I missed 75% of the people I wanted to see, I didn't see.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was rough.
And so I feel like not only for it to be as big as it was, but to feel as spaced out as it didn't feel claustrophobic. So that was amazing. And I just think the programming in general, there's like so many things now. Like you look at like Game Nights Live, and it's like, okay, they've got a show that can draw 3,000.
Of course, they're awesome.
Right? That's amazing. You've got like every single cool piece of Magic history you could possibly want that's there on the floor.
Right.
I think the fact that it was Final Fantasy too.
Final Fantasy has been, I think that's a perfect segue. I had a great time. I was only able to go for a little bit of time. I popped in, popped out, but fans' responses, we love you guys, man. We're so grateful for just people following us and caring what we have to say about the game of Magic and just all the support. So like a lot of that is just, spending time with fans, taking pictures, signing stuff, answering questions. A lot of these people have wanted to have interactions with us for a long time. And that's one of my favorite things about the MagicCons is you get to, connect with the community. But I had a great time, man. All the vendors were super, super happy with the booths and stuff. People came to sell stuff. People came to, buy stuff. It was really good. And like you said, all the creators were there. A bunch of guys who I wanted to meet. Leonard Williams popped into the building.
I got to play a game of Commander with him,
which is sick. And Leonard's great. I'm so happy that he's in the community and really, kind of taking a deep dive. There's some other guys that I think are gonna pop up here soon too.
Oh, really?
Man. But yeah, there's shout out to my buddy Greg Gaines.
Okay.
He plays for Tampa Bay. He's maybe not on the shy side, but he just likes to play his games and just kick with his family, play ball.
Yeah.
Super smart guy. He was into Warhammer.
Oh, nice.
And me and him were training together. And I was like, bro, you got to get into the game. So him and then another guy named Morgan Fox have kind of been dabbling in Magic.
Okay.
So it's like a D-line thing. I don't know what's going on, but like D linemen across the NFL are, giving Magic the Gathering a shot. But it's how much more the everyday person is kind of seeing what we're doing. Collectibles is having a big boom right now.
Yep.
Pokemon, sports, collectible toys, just everything. These little boo-boos. I got one on my backpack.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't help it. Like, if you go back 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, when we first started getting into the game, bro, you didn't really talk about it. And if you did, nobody knew what you were talking about. The only thing anyone knew anything was about was Pokemon.
Yeah.
And even still, it was like, you're a nerd. That's weird.
You had to kind of justify if you were explaining Magic to people. And you had a different experience because when you got into Magic, how far before you were in the NFL were you playing Magic?
Dude, I was playing since I was 11.
Oh, so you've been playing for a long time.
For a long time.
Okay. So I for some reason, I thought you got in later. So when I was a kid, like, you would tell people you played Magic. And sometimes if they didn't know, you'd be like, well, it's kind of like poker meets chess. There's a lot of like pro poker players who play it. You're sort of trying to sell it, legitimize it.
You had to draw some, like, it really is the most challenging game in the world. It is the most competitive, most interactive, most challenging game in the world. I say that's how I introduced the game, is like something similar. It's somewhere in between like chess and whatever.
Yeah, you find your way to kind of explain it. But now it's like, because the collectability has reached the point that it has, because it's so mainstream, it like, the reason it's big right now is yesterday I drove around the city for like a work trip with a different thing, and I went to I went to a Target, I went to a Best Buy, I went to like a Walmart, and I went to the collectible cards section of every store, and there was not a single pack of Final Fantasy on any shelf. Not a play booster, not a starter deck, not a bundle, nothing.
Well, they did a great job with that set, bro.
Yeah.
They did a great job with that set. The art was incredible. They did a great job of drawing like the actual game scenes and characters into the game. Are
you a big Final Fantasy guy?
I played a couple, but I'm not like huge. But like, I always loved the game structure. I love RPG games. Like those are my favorites. Shoutouts to Legend of the Dragoons. Like only the real ones really know about that game. But that's what got me into RPGs. And Final Fantasy was always one of those like legendary games. It's amazing. So. But I've just seen like the people who are truly Final Fantasy fans like went crazy for it. They had great reprints, great art, a ton of really good new cards. A ton of really good new cards. And they did the Chocobo thing, which has been another great like way to contribute to the collectability side of like modern Magic, which I think is kind of, I think that's what's bridging the gap between us and like Pokemon right now, like, or even sports cards.
The collectability is really interesting to talk about because for the longest time, the biggest Magic cards were old cards. And you would, so like for those that like, I guess don't know, because it doesn't get talked about that much, because a lot of new players weren't around for this, but it used to be that when they introduced foils in 98, 99, the only different version of a card you could open was the foil version. That lasted where there was literally only 2 versions of a card other than Judge promos, really until like the mid 2010s.
Long time.
It was like 10 years ago is when it really started, and then Booster Fun and that whole thing. Serialized didn't even get introduced until like 4 or 5 years ago. Right. So it's like you look at the way that it's changed, and they've clearly paid attention to Pokemon. They've paid attention to sports cards, to case hits, all the collectible things that kind of make that drive the businesses. But Magic's different. Because while sports cards can be driven by like Luca's much better now than Luca was as a rookie. So the big Luca rookies from his rookie, they're expensive now, right?
Of course.
Magic is driven by the playability of the cards, right? Of course, it's driven by the fact that if you have a really, really good version of the One Ring, it's a great Magic card,
right? So it's a combination of both, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's like the Chocobo it's a great card. Is a great card. Like it's an okay card, but the collectability, that was cool. I think the first time they did it was like the Kamigawa when they did the red.
The neon ink.
Yeah, the neon ink. Those because they weren't a good card. I was like, man. You know what I mean?
They got to be smart about it.
Yeah, they got to be. But like what they've done with the Surge foils,
dude. Can we talk about for a second how good the Surge foils with the flat backgrounds on the Legends look? It's the best treatment of Surges they've ever done. It is. The green white Yuna with the pink background. I pulled that from a pack because I get to work with Wizards, right? So I got it a month early. And I was like, I had it for like 3 weeks before I could post it. And I just kept looking and I'd be like, I don't know if I've seen a prettier Magic card than this. Like the treatment is so perfect. Right? That Y'shtola is so sick. I mean, they look amazing.
Top to bottom, it's a really good set. I think that the people love it now. As happy as people are with this set and as amazing as I think it is, it's gotten very expensive. And I think a lot of people are upset about that. You know, which I do understand, because like the point of entry for the game is getting a little bit more expensive with like you know, these newer sets, and especially these you know, Universe Beyond sets, which I think are going to grow the game significantly.
They already have,
you know, but like there is always that gatekeepy type of energy around Magic the Gathering, and you know, the point of entry and the cost of cards is always a concern. I'm
curious your opinion on this, actually, just as somebody who runs a business, because I'm you know, I'm on the vendor side peripherally, but like you run a full on Magic business. You're getting allocation,
we're buying,
the whole thing.
We're getting allocation, we're buying collections nonstop.
So like, you can find Aether Drift on the shelf right now. It's for sale. Collector boosters are discounted on Amazon. They're cheap. People didn't want them. Right. So
vehicles suck.
Limited number of collector boosters were made for that set, just like Duskmourn. They like in the last 2 years they've severely limited the number, but the set wasn't popular.
Right.
So it's not people talk about scalping. People talk about people buying out and raising prices. Well, if people wanted that set, they would have done it with Aether Drift. The reason Final Fantasy is having the moment it's having is because it's incredibly popular. It's sold out because people want it.
It's good.
And I don't think it's fair. It's not to say that there aren't predatory people in the community who are taking some advantage. It happens in every collectible. But it's
a business, though. I know that at its core, right? And this goes to Pokemon as well. Like, you know, obviously you don't deal in the Pokemon world, but it goes to Pokemon as well. They're always like, oh, you're taking stuff away from kids, and it's like, if you're at a store and you see a kid who's trying to buy a box and you're buying out everything, that is messed up. You should let that kid get like whatever he came there to get and be cool about it. And then like, I do think that whole scalping, you know, community is messed up. There's people that do it the wrong way, but at the same time, how could you get upset with people for taking advantage of an opportunity?
The best way I can think about it is like this. The thing everyone's talking about right now are Final Fantasy collector booster boxes. That's the thing, right?
Well, you can't even get those in Target anyway, really. I think they only sell like the single packs.
So like a Final Fantasy collector booster box was, I think I want to say that the retail was supposed to be like $450. So right away it jumped to like $600, which like very quickly. Fine. Like that's, you know, it's more expensive, but it's limited. Everybody wanted it, was selling out.
Right.
They went to $700. Now if the demand was just medium, people would have immediately been dumping them and selling them for $100 over retail, and the price would have started to come down.
Right.
But the demand is so high, people want them so much, the price isn't allowed to come down. And I do believe, just like you see with every collector set, like if the demand isn't there, it's going to slowly bleed down. You'll see it in 3 months. If you can get a Final Fantasy box for $700 again.
Well, it's the same way as Lord of the Rings, bro. There's just a great set, and that's awesome. That means that WotC did a good job and made a product that everybody really loves. You can't get a Lord of the Rings, like we got a Volume 1 and Volume 2 collector box from this like sealed collection that we bought. It was actually with Max and the boys. Bro. You don't get those. I don't remember last time I've seen those. They don't exist anymore.
They're hard to get.
They're hard to get. And there's a bunch of really great cards to chase in there, especially the Volume 2, those Lord of the Rings One rings.
The holiday edition, special edition. I got a sealed box.
I wanna get a serialized one here soon. I'm gonna look for one.
What are you
anybody who has one, hit me up for
One
sure.
Ring?
The One Ring serialized.
You're gonna do it?
I want one. Yeah.
It's funny because now with the Chocobo, the Golden Chocobo, the price of the One Ring looks like
Well, the Golden Chocobo, I don't. It depends.
You want to play the One Ring in a deck. You don't want to play the Chocobo.
That's what I'm saying. I want it because it's playable. I like Chocobo. I think it's cool, and I'm glad there's just that collectability. Like I said earlier, I'm happy about it. I think I could do better things with 50K right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, had I got the 1 out of 77 for 50K, for sure I'm buying that.
Well, because 7 and 77 are the big
7,
ones.
77, and 1.
They're the big three.
Yeah.
What's your ranking? And
I put 7
at number 1.
Yeah. Because 777, it's like a good like that. I would for sure that if someone had the 7, I would consider.
7, 77, 1, and then 69 is 4. That's the
69 is probably 4.
Because what else would be ahead of it?
11's tight. 11's tight too. I think 69 will probably be 4.
It will be for sure.
Realistically, 69. It's so
it's
funny,
magic.
Dude.
It's how it works.
How goofball.
It's so stupid.
Are we that like? Is that's?
It's not even a joke. We're like talking about it with real seriousness.
It is so serious. All of the serialized 69s are like so
Wubby
expensive.
owns like 12 of them or something.
What's that?
Wubby owns like 12 of them. He buys
them. Good for him though. Like you know, like it's cool. Like I get it.
I did a trade with a guy named Dom from the UK for a serialized Steam Vents. In Vegas. It was the first thing I did, and he was like, "Thank you for doing the trade. I brought some sealed product or whatever." And he was like, "By the way, if you see Wubby, I have a serialized 69 ivory tower. Let him know.
Oh yeah, he wants that for sure. He wants that for sure. That's amazing though. You know,
so
and now he's known for that.
He's known for it. Yeah.
He'll probably get brought to him. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
If you pulled the 7 Chojibo, you better if you see this, guys. Everybody who is watching this right now, drop it in the comments. At the person if you know them. I want that 7 out of 77. I need it.
So crazy. It's gonna go for so much money.
It's all right though. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I got a couple boxes of it at home. I'm like, what if it's in there?
I know. We've got a master case. I'm sitting on a master case, which is crazy. You were saying earlier that they're going for
I heard they're going
like 140,
for
150 over over just straight box value, which makes sense. It's 4 inners. You got a good chance to pull.
Yeah, they're called case hits for a reason, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Final Fantasy, MagicCon Vegas, amazing. But there's so much more. Today they just announced the Sonic cards,
Secret Lairs,
which are sick. That red-black one we were talking about earlier, that commander is ridiculous. And the Sonic is good too. And then you've got the Edge of Eternities coming up, and you've got Spider-Man coming up.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Are you an Avatar guy?
Bro, I love that.
Really?
I watched that series like 5 times.
I'm watching it for the first time now.
It is so good, bro. How far in are you?
I'm like 9 episodes into season 1. My girlfriend loves it. So it's pretty much her favorite show of all time.
It is incredibly good.
Yeah, I just watched this one episode that was like really good. I think it feels like it really set the stage. It's where like they go into the fire temple or whatever, and Aang becomes like he like manifests the dude and beats all the dudes or whatever, and then it's like, you have till the end of the summer to learn.
Avatar state.
And I was like, that's pretty sweet,
dude. It's so good, and the character development's amazing. And there's like life lessons, and there's like it's dark, and it's like that show is so good. So I think that this set, along with Marvel, obviously Spider-Man, is going to bring a lot of people into the game, because to me, if you see how good Magic is as a game, you're done for. Every single one of my employees, bro, who has started off not playing the game Magic, both these guys over here are smirking right now, because I never thought for a second that either one of them would end up playing Magic. Nat's over here doing backflips and because she's converting everybody. Everybody has started playing Magic, and obviously we have access to every game, but they choose to play Magic because it's so incredibly good. So for me, with these the reason why I love Edge from Universes Beyond. Wow. The reason why I love it so much is because for that reason.
I remember when I started getting into making content again. And I guess just as like a little tiny bit of background for anybody watching this, I did a podcast about Modern called The Masters of Modern for 10 years. 10 years, Alex Kessler and I did it. Yeah. And it was we were one of the first content creators. Like, we started with Command Zone. We were the sister podcast.
Right.
And we did that for a long time, and it was, very, very sort of mid-level. When we were known in the community, but there was way less creators back then. Yeah. And so we kind of stopped making that podcast in like 2022. We just and I was like, I feel like I'm kind of done making Magic content. And 2024, I kind of jumped in, started making a lot of content, and I've just been hard now for the last 13 months. So about 3 or 4 months since when I got into it, I remember posting at one point a question. It was like, what do you guys think about Universes Beyond? Good for the game, bad for the game, what do you think? And that post did pretty well. And I remember just like looking at the comments, and it was like, my buddy forced me to play the Assassin's Creed set. Now I'm hooked. I got in for Lord of the Rings. I'm like, and now I'm looking to get all of the cards from the set. Like, I got in because Fallout's my favorite thing in the world. Doctor Who's my favorite show. The comments was endless. And I was at Vegas last year in October, and Aaron Forsyth was there, and the post I think was pretty fresh, and because we were talking, I was like, I know there's some trolls online talking about Universes Beyond, but I was like, check out these comments, and I showed it to him, and I was just scrolling, and he's like, that's pretty amazing, right? Because that is the truth. Is like the actual reality is the game's growing faster than it's ever grown,
right?
Ever.
But again, that goes back to the weird gatekeepy type of like energy around the game, where it's like, how could you see that as a negative thing? How could you see new people loving the game of Magic as a bad thing?
What was your first set? 11, you said?
Onslaught, I was 11. Onslaught was my. That's my number one. That's my holy grail set. Yeah, I love Onslaught.
I saw some of those foil polluted deltas.
You like that?
I don't have one of those.
You like
those are
sexy,
man.
bro. I got a buddy named Worth, and he was at WotC forever, and he's got the most pristine full playset of all the foils. I've been begging this guy to sell me these things forever. ever, and he just I think he thinks it's funny at this point that he won't sell them to me.
Yeah,
because he's not using them. But I'm like, dude, Worth, you better sell me those dual lands, or I mean fetch lands.
You want to hear a crazy one? I got reached out to by a guy that I know from a local shop, and he's like, I know this woman, I work with her, she's got this collection, or she sends you her contact. I was like, let's jump on the phone for a second so I can understand. Right. She's like, well, my husband and I collected this collection, and we bought all these beta starter decks back in the 93, and there's these things where there's like not commons, but there was rares instead. I was like, yeah, they're called God Packs. She's like, we got like 6 of them, so we have more rares from beta than we have commons. She's like, so I've got a full beta set, full unlimited, full legends, antiquities, dark, Arabian, the whole thing. Sick. And I'm working on a second set of all of them. Plus I have stacks of extras. And she just started sending me pictures. And it was like, I was like, I'm going to send her some pictures. Like, here's some stuff from Antiquities. And she's like, 11 transmute artifacts. Like, it's just a crazy collection. And it's all pristine. It's all perfect.
That's amazing.
And so she's like, well, I'm going to keep all the full sets because those are important to me. But I could sell some of the extras.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like your buddy's saying, it's like, you know, there's an emotional attachment to having them.
Yeah.
That even when people are kind of ready to sell, they're not really ready to sell.
Yeah. They're like, I'll sell, like, the extra stuff that doesn't, like, because... Dude, when you got those nice binders, bro, there's something about just having a binder and being able to go and flip through it and be like, damn, this is impressive. Like, I love, like, my binder's small. Yeah. There's not a ton in it, but the shit that I have in it is spicy.
Dude, that was...
And I love...
There was some ridiculous
There's
cards
some cool stuff in your binder, right? You know, and then I've got some cool stuff in my deck. So, like, my collection is been compacted because, you know, it's just the way I'm choosing to collect right now. But I love that super spicy. Man.
I'll tell you the button on that story is that I told her, she's like, I'm selling the stuff because I just want to sell some stuff, not because I need the money. I want somebody to be happy who gets the stuff. And I was like, well, my goal is to get an alpha set. That's what I want. She's like, well, I've got about 40 alpha cards. I'm happy to sell them to you for a good price. I want to make your collection happy.
Sick.
One of the cards is an alpha emerald, so I'm going to maybe pick it up tomorrow.
That's awesome, dude.
We're gonna see. I got to figure out if I can afford it because that's not a cheap card.
It's not, but I'm sure you can.
I'll figure out something.
Little payment plan, you know what I mean?
Sell some shoes. I don't know, whatever.
What? Anytime you're ready to sell some of your collection, holla at me, bro. That's sick, man. Dude, it's fun, bro. Buying collections is like we were talking about earlier, man. Buying collections is awesome because obviously it's part of the business and that's great. You know, anytime you get a good collection come in, it's an awesome opportunity and all that. But the reason why I like it, and I always, every time we buy a big collection, I like to get my hands on it and look through it myself because there's nostalgia every time. I feel like I get a glimpse into who the person was as a collector. Yeah. Like what type of decks they like. It says a lot about their personality. The way that they store their cards says a lot about their you know what I mean? That type of stuff. The random stuff that people collect, just like pet cards and some of the old foils. Like I love getting my hands on collections, and it's just like it's probably turned into one of my favorite parts about running the business is just like these big collections that come in because like I said, it's an opportunity to put money in these people's hand and it's great for them. And then obviously, we do, everybody's happy, we make money. But dude, I'm seeing like dope old Magic cards, bro. Like that to me is just, I don't know, man. It feels a little bit intimate, low key.
I've got a couple vendors I work with around the country, 3 or 4, I think, that are kind of my main contacts that I work with, and who I'll buy a collection because I get offered a lot of collections. The more content I make, the more people reach out, and so I'll get offered a collection, and I'll figure out the deal, I'll make an offer, and the smartest thing financially for me to do every time would be to just have them send the cards directly to my vendor partner, because I don't have to take any liability then. If the collection gets lost, it's not on me. But for both the reason that I want to make a video with the collection, because it's good for content, and because I'm a sicko and I just want to open the box and I want to go through them and I want to turn them over and be like, oh, look at, and I want to be like,
clean this one.
And I want to take a picture and send it to you and be like, look how clean this time twister is. For that reason alone, I shell out the money and I buy them. I literally pay the cash myself just so I can have them.
So you can have it for
and then I send it to my guy and I get the cash back. Literally, if it gets lost in the mail, I'm out. But like, I'm taking the liability because I do think it's important for the content.
For content, it's great.
It matters to get collections,
for sure.
But I also just can't not do it. I need the cards in my hands.
100%. Yeah. All right. So we spoke about Universe Beyond. I think we went real in depth there. Final Fantasy crazy. Marvel.
Yeah, so it's weird, right? Like the
Marvel, they already did the drop, the Secret Lair, which was cool.
It's a great drop.
I was actually able to buy the original art for Storm.
The actual piece?
Yeah, the actual piece.
You own it?
I do. It's right over there.
Storm Force of Nature.
It is. It is.
That's an incredibly sick Magic card.
It's a great Magic card. It's Storm.
It's a great piece of art.
Storm. Great piece of art. Solid. But super dope, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect with like the Spider-Man set. Like the
it's
spoilers
weird, right?
that they already put out are kind of poop.
But those were scene box cards.
Yeah.
And the scene box cards from Lord of the Rings kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
So you still got some pretty high hopes.
Oh, they'll make it good. I mean, I think like it's weird because when you think about IP, I don't think Spider-Man's lame, but there's an aspect of Marvel since Endgame that's kind of it's like peaked a little.
Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder. Like Avatar's much cooler than Marvel right now.
And I would say so, yeah. I think a lot more people are excited about Avatar than they are.
But Spider-Man's also Spider-Man.
That's the other side of it is like
we might just be like, actually, it's the biggest one ever.
It is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like I really don't know what to expect because it's like you said, it is a little bit lamer right now. Marvel movies have been flopping and like whatever. But like the glory days of Marvel were like. Any Marvel movie that came out for a good
the Infinity Saga is like my favorite. Like I'm such a massive fan.
Super good. So I mean, it could very well be way bigger than Final Fantasy if they make it properly. If they put good cards into it, because I think one of the biggest mistakes that WotC makes is that when they do these collaborations, that they don't make the new cards good.
Here's the question: how negatively affected is Spider-Man going to be due to no commander decks and the fact that the arena component is not going to be Spider-Man cards? Those are both true. There's no commander decks, and on arena they won't be Spider-Man. How negative? I mean, do you think it'll have a major impact or like?
That's what I'm saying. It just feels like the energy to me right now is that Marvel isn't going to be what we all wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And like, do you think that they do the Infinity Stones?
Oh, as serialized? I mean, I think.
If you don't do the Infinity Stones, is it the dumbest thing they've ever done?
When they did the One Ring, we all talked about it on our podcast. When they do it, they're going to have to do one of one Infinity Stones. They have to do it. Well, if they do them, especially if they do them like Chocobo, where you can get the non-one of ones, so you can get the set, and they're super rare. Like I think that's.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like in the Infinity Stones individually, having them be like the colored version, and then having the limited like or like the 5 1-of-1s in the gauntlet.
Because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So
what's 6 stones? Is it 6?
5, 6, right?
Yeah,
sorry.
Infinity Stones.
Is the Power Stone the purple one? That's the middle one.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the one that goes here on Thanos' thing is the one you need to be the super. That's the black Chocobo. Okay. The other ones get to be the neon.
Sure.
And the black Chocobo is this one.
Right.
And then there's a one of all of them that's just like the One Ring.
Yeah.
And you can open them, and then that's the same. And to me, that's
you and me can come up with that here on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
We're two smart guys, but like WotC, if they don't do that to me.
Seems crazy. Because is the Gauntlet one of one? No, because the Gauntlet is made on Nevedalier or whatever, with Eitri the Dwarf, but he could have made another one of those.
But it's still the Gauntlet. There's only one. 7 pieces to collect seems better than 6.
I just need like the flavor text on the Gauntlet card to be like Peter Dinklage being like, he needs the axe.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Just like I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm nervous about it.
So here's a crazy statistic that I heard. Final Fantasy was so big for Magic that in the month of May, leading up to the release of it, all the pre-sales, Magic did more business in that month than virtually any calendar year in Magic's history in the first 20 years of business. It makes sense, but it also puts in perspective for you, once Arena happened and Magic jumped to $1 billion business, how long are we talking before Magic hits $2 billion?
They need to make a freaking show, bro.
Well, it's coming out.
I know, but it's like
they've been talking about it for like 10 years.
Hurry up, dude! Give me one. Give me season 1. Give me season 1. Make me wait 3 years for season 2, 3, 4, 5. But season 1, there's unlimited lore.
Yeah,
there's unlimited storylines. You got 1 million characters to develop. Legendary creatures out the kazoo. So many different worlds. Like it's endless.
Yeah.
How do we not have a show? I think that is like. That's the biggest thing that WotC could possibly do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel right now like being a content creator in Magic. right now in 2025 is like the best possible place you can be. The number of new people who we're finding. Every time I do a video that goes, Magic just announced everything you need to know about Final Fantasy. This is everything you need to know in 2 minutes or less. And I make that video and that gets 600,000 views. How many of those 600,000 people are new Final Fantasy fans that have never seen me before?
Right.
Probably a lot. How many times is that going to happen for Final Fantasy and for Marvel, right? And for everyone, for Avatar, for like...
We're going to see Magic grow in a big way over the next 3 to 4 years.
What do you think about the spoilers we've seen so far for Edge of Eternities? Shocklands.
Shocklands.
They revealed the Shocks are back.
Shocks are cool.
They look cool.
Shocks are cool.
They look cool. They gave us like the 2 commanders.
I don't have too many thoughts. I'm like, all right, so there's a good land base. That's always a good sign that you can chase some lands and get good value out of packs. That's always a healthy thing for a set.
Tezzeret seems good.
Tezzeret seems good.
3-man
Tezzeret seems, that one does seem very good. That's a powerful planeswalker. I hope they find ways to make planeswalkers like playable again, because there's really only like 5 playable planeswalkers in my view.
I've seen the set. There's some pretty cool stuff in it from what I've seen.
Okay.
And I would say that the stuff we've seen so far, we haven't seen anything yet that is like on the level of the good stuff.
Okay.
There's a handful of good things I've seen that are like that are pretty sweet.
Cool. Okay, so there's I can feel safe.
Excited about the stuff I've seen.
I'm excited no matter what. Like I said, I just think that it's in such a great place. So like the future is bright for sure. We got a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. We talked about it all. CEDH.
Do you play a lot of CEDH?
I build CEDH decks. If I build a commander, I max it out. I make it as good as possible. As shiny and pretty and all of the things as possible. And I don't like playing inefficient Magic. I don't. I think it's bad. And I don't like long Magic games either. I would rather play 4 short games in 3 hours than 1 long game.
Those
in
grindy 5-player games.
I don't like those games.
You won't do it.
I don't. If there's more than 4 players, I won't do it. And the only time I will do it if it's like a group of really close buddies that I really want to play with. You know, like the other day, not the other day, but some months back, me, Rick Glassman, Joe Manganiello, Joe Johnson. We sat down and played precons.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
It took so long, bro. And I was just...
You're like 3-man to search for a land.
And I'm just like, these cards aren't good. They're not optimized, bro. It was eating me alive inside. Now, obviously, I'm having fun because we're friends and all that stuff, but it just... That for me personally, that's where I've gotten in my Magic journey. The people that are still in that place, I think it's a beautiful place to be. That's where I started out. Kitchen table Magic, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm past that now.
I haven't played it. I've built a deck for it. I play a Gerson Starn deck that's like, it's like a 4+.
Okay.
It's like pretty optimized,
right? But
it's not CDH.
Right.
It has like a weak breach line, but it's not a real breach line.
Okay.
And so I like to play it. That's the version of Magic I like to play. I'm the guy that likes to play like Joe does, right below CDH. I want my decks to be cool and fun, but I'm not there to just like interact with the stack and try to instant speed Thoracle win. That's not all the way how I like to play. But I don't own it below 4. I'm incapable of doing it. I tried, and then they added more game changers.
I think I'm in a similar place. I think I'm in a similar place. Teferi's my only CDH deck, which is not like, it's not like your tier 1 commander. You're not going to see a whole lot of it. I just have an affinity for
mono blue.
Exactly.
Good.
So Chain Veil, and it's super good. It is CEDH. You can win consistently amongst CEDH players. But the combos are not like Tainted Pack into Thoracle.
It's not the big 2.
It's not like that type of those. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's the commander that you're building, like you're trying to win the game, it's competitive. But like I enjoy Teferi for the reason of like I win in ways that other people don't win. And I play extra turns, and like you just basically watch me play if I'm playing Teferi, which I love to do to people. I
got a copy of, so before the con, I was like, I always do this before a con. I was like, here's the 6 cards I'm looking for. I always post a video, and like this one was a fancy set because it was like some wild stuff. It was like Serialized Mox Amber, Serialized Steam Vents. It was like a Final Fortune 7th edition foil, right? Some like stuff that I didn't think I was gonna get.
Final Fortune.
And
7th
edition foil. And so I posted it online, and one of the cards I wanted was that Secret Lair drop Thassa's Oracle, the really cool one, the rainbow foil.
Yeah.
So someone sent it to me as a gift in the mail
that's
for my
amazing.
birthday,
Hell yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
I got the extended art foil VV, the bundle exclusive, because that's the VV I wanted. That's specifically the one I wanted.
Right.
Got that there. Traded for the Final Fortune. I got all the cards I was after.
Yeah.
But specifically the Thassa's Oracle, you made me think of it because it just showed up yesterday. It's beautiful, and I didn't have one yet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an expensive card.
It is.
It's a really nice gift.
I love it. That's a super dope gift.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
They hooked you up for sure. So you haven't played CEDH yet.
No.
But you should play in our tournament. We've got a tournament this Sunday. It's probably a little bit too late.
Short notice, yeah.
A little short notice for this one, but we're gonna be doing tournaments every other weekend. I'm gonna start popping in there and having some fun, man.
Are you gonna play?
I think I'm gonna come play in a couple of them.
What happens if you win your own tournament?
Oh, well, then obviously I'll do a giveaway and give away the prizes and stuff. Like I would never walk home with the winnings and stuff like that. But like just an excuse to go play and interact with people and stuff like that. You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah, I just did this in Vegas. I did a Highlander Gauntlet tournament.
It's sick. Yeah, that's like your format.
It's my
right?
format.
That's your format.
We had like 20 people show up, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I was gonna give a dual land away to first place, and then Final Fantasy Commander decks so I won the tournament. So I kept the duel, but I gave away for second and third Final Fantasy Collector Commander decks, and then I gave away 10 more Final Fantasy Collector Commander decks all the way down, and packs. So everybody got something.
So everybody got some good stuff.
I gave away 12 Commander decks out of a 20-person tournament.
Yeah.
I felt like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
Yeah.
You win. If you win, you win. Question for the audiences and question for you is like, who are some interesting content creators that you really like to follow, that you really love what they're doing, and like, who's somebody who you'd like to see on this podcast?
Okay, well, there's some folks that I think with content creation, there's really unique content, and then there's people that hustle, and I appreciate both.
Yes.
But people that hustle, I'm always just impressed by,
intrigued, yeah,
because I'm like, I know the work,
yeah,
and when you can find ways to keep it up,
yeah.
So there's a guy Robert Redbeard who used to be on the
I
Infinity
love
Bros.
that guy. Yeah. I met him for the first time in Vegas.
Me too.
Yeah,
he was doing this thing Infinity Bros, and he was kind of taking over like a movie podcast and making it magic.
Yeah,
and then he had to leave. It seemed like he had to split.
I saw, because it was more magic,
and he started his own thing, and he's really blowing up.
He's sick.
And he makes great stuff.
He does.
And he's awesome in person.
He's cool.
He's a guy that I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Who are some of my other favorite content creators who I really like? I really enjoy. They're not small, but I love Scrybabies.
Yeah.
I love
of course.
Lua and Tori.
Of course. They're just East Coast, man.
Yeah.
So it's like if they're ever out here, obviously I would love that. I would love Lua. I've known her for a long time. So
Kuro is a guy who hustles his butt off. Kuro, he does like commander streams.
Okay.
He's really great. I think there's a lot of great.
There's a ton of them, but yeah. A couple
I'm leaving somebody
out.
I'm sorry, but
listen, everybody who's watching right now, drop in the comments. Let us know who you would want to see next. We want this to be like a community thing. I want to talk to people that obviously I've met, but there are still some creators out there that I'm discovering all the time. I forgot his name slipping my mind, but he made a really clever video about how there's a bunch of like NFL and like kind of like big athlete type guys getting into the game, and he's like, dude, you guys are supposed to be bullying me, like what, like I can play a game. He made a clever video which I thought was funny because like I remember the times where that was what you would expect, you know. So it was just funny, and like I've been watching his content. He's really funny. I got somebody drop it in the comments. They know the people who know Magic know exactly who I'm talking about. He's a great content creator. But,
you know who else? Sorry, he's not here in LA. Bobby Maximus. You know who that is?
I love Bobby. God, man, I got to meet him for like a second, but Magic, it was just so crazy. It was so hard to even get a game in, but he's awesome, man.
Hustling.
I got to get him back out.
And this guy, if you guys don't know who this guy is, he's like a former kickboxing world champion. He's like been published by Men's Health like 200 times.
Great athlete.
He's an incredible, and he's so generous with his time.
Very nice guy.
And he's very nice, and he hustles really hard with his content.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to get in more and do more. And he and I talk on the phone sometimes.
I'll hit him up.
And he's a good dude.
I'll hit him up for sure. Yeah. I appreciate you coming out, brother. We'll have to do this again someday. But guys, thanks for coming and watching another episode of the Cash Cards Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much Ben Bateman, MTG, everywhere at this point. Really, my biggest platform at this point is probably Instagram. The following on TikTok's the biggest, and I post everything to all places. So just look up Ben Bateman, MTG, anywhere you look, and that's where you're going to find me, primarily short form. But on YouTube, I do have some stuff coming that's unique and longer form that won't be on those short form platforms, so make sure you follow there. But it's just Ben Bateman, MTG, everywhere.